Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another daily transfer update, Carabao Cup semi-final preview and FA Cup fourth round draw live, people. Packed show, loads and loads to dive into as always, people. We're going to look ahead to Chelsea versus Middlesbrough tomorrow night at the Riverside Stadium. First leg, Christopher Nkunku is going to be missing for that game. Obviously, got links to Paulo Dybala, which I'm pretty certain are not going to happen, but we're going to address it anyway. Got all the latest on the press conference as well. Pochettino saying that we're not desperate for a striker. I potentially beg to differ on that front. I've also got the latest news on the FA Cup fourth round draw as well, people. We're going to wait and see what happens there. But there's loads and loads to get into. As always, Ian Martson's deal to go to Borussia Dortmund on a loan move should be completed by the end of this week, according to Fabrizio Romano. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with an option or an obligation to buy. We don't really know what that's going to be yet. But yeah, loads to get into as always. As always, people, smash the likes, run those likes up, guys. 50 likes minimum target to begin with, as always. So make sure you smash the like button as soon as you come in. And subscribe to the channel if you are new around here as well. I'm 10 subscribers away, guys, from 7,500. So if we can knock a few more of those off later on today, 8 subscribers away from that. You know, if we can get a few more subscribers, then that would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, let's say hello to a few people and then we'll dive into all we need to dive into. It is not true that we need to sell players. Yeah, no, that is correct. I think we need to bring someone in January because I don't feel confident. I agree on that. I'm going to dive into the Nkunku stuff. Mixed messaging at its finest, you know, but we're going to get into that in a sec. Dybala on a cheap, but his wage and injury record, yep, you know, that's a problem. We need his experience. Potentially we do. Dybala rumours are just nonsense, simply not a Poch signing. Yeah, I do agree on that. He was. RD, big up my brother. Lee, hope you're doing well. Chelsea need to take this game seriously. Yep. Yes, big up, G. Smash the like button, guys. Don't be a freeloading. Yep. I'm okay with no panic buy in January and assess in the summer. The big names will be available. Yes, I agree with you, brother, on not panic buying. Big names will be available in the summer, but then there's also going to be more clubs involved. And do we back ourselves to sign players over the potentially the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, etc., etc.? Dead in the water, big up, G. Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate. Not too bad. Things are okay. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, let's dive into it, people. We'll start with the transfer news. There's not an awful lot of it, but let's address this Paulo Dybala stuff because these rumours came in the summer. You know, we were linked with Dybala for quite a while at the start of the summer window, and then that kind of went away. We knew there was that cheap release clause for European clubs. And now it seems that it's active again. Chelsea, this has come from a report in Italy. Again, I don't know how reliable these things are. I suspect not particularly. We know that Chelsea are looking for attackers. Dybala might be on the move potentially. You kind of put 2 and 2 together and you kind of come up with this story. I don't personally believe too much on it as, you know, as to use as a wild card option in attack. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be a wild card option, but I just don't see it happening. You know, as we already know, guys, you know, we're weighing up the possibility of signing a new striker in this window. But right now, 8 days in, no moves are really advancing at all. And it looks like, you know, the top targets are unattainable or there are a lot of big stumbling blocks in the way so far. And according to a report in Italy, you know, we could turn to Dybala. I just don't see that happening. Now, this report's claiming that Chelsea want to make use of Dybala's release clause, which is now active and can be triggered by submitting a €12 million bid, so £10 million, the fee that's only valid for foreign clubs. Dybala would have a final say in any move, and there has also been talk of him extending his stay in Rome. Chelsea have only got a limited time, though, because the release clause of Dybala expires on the 15th of January. Let's be real, guys. This is not going to happen at all. I cannot see this happening. Yes, a cheap transfer fee, sure, but wages will be high. And this is just another injury-prone guy. Do we really want to be signing yet another injury-prone player? I don't think that's what we want to be doing, people. That is not what we want to be doing. Dybala is the definition of injury prone. He's constantly picking up injuries, left, right, and centre. And we sign him, right? Let's play hypotheticals. We sign him. Where does he realistically play? Yeah, sure, he could play at centre forward, but is he really going to play at centre forward? I can't see it. Do we need him as an option in the number 10 role? Well, Nkunku can play there. Yes, he's kind of out at the moment. Cole Palmer can play there. Gallagher's been playing there. I look at it. Unless it's a centre forward, I'm not interested. And Dybala, for me, is not an out-and-out centre forward. Yes, he can play as a 9, but he's probably better as someone that plays as a 10. You see him at Roma playing off Lukaku. He's someone that's better at playing off. And we've got Nkunku, we've got Cole Palmer, and these guys that can do that. So, yeah, for me, it's not making sense. The math's not mathing on this one. It's not adding up for me why Chelsea would be interested in exploring a deal for Dybala. For me, yes, his numbers are good. The only attractive thing for I think on this deal is the fee. Everything else is not really stacking up to be a good deal for Chelsea in terms of wages, in terms of obviously and his injury record. This is a guy that picks up a lot of injuries. And yet we're gonna, we like, according to these reports, Chelsea are going to sign another injury-prone player. You know what will happen? We sign him, and he'd be injured for the majority of the time he was here. It's just kind of how it works. Again, not proven in the Premier League either. I think if we're going for January signings, people that need to come in and hit the ground running and make a difference to this team, as good a player as Dybala is, he's not coming in midway through the season and making an instant impact on this Chelsea side. That simply is not happening, guys. Let's have a look what we've got going on in the chat. Apparently, Kimmich might go to PSG. Do we fancy losing another transfer tussle to them? Yeah, why not? Let's get involved again. Mudryk had started. Excuse me, guys. Mudryk had started. Can we just wrap it up in the first leg? Yeah, let's hope so. If Mbappe goes to Madrid, no, for sure. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it's all very, as you said, bro, it's all like, ideally, we don't want to do any panic signings and whatnot and, wait till the summer, more names available. But as I was saying, more clubs available. And you can guarantee that when Kylian Mbappe, because I think it is when, rather than if, when Kylian Mbappe goes to Real Madrid from PSG, then they for sure will be looking at Victor Osimhen. I've got no doubts in my mind about it. Yes, they've got Gonzalo Ramos, Yes, they've got Kolo Muani as well. But yeah, there's no way for me that they're not interested in him. And likewise, if Real Madrid do not get Kylian Mbappe for some reason, they need a centre forward. They would absolutely look at signing someone like Victor Osimhen as well. And when you've got PSG and Real Madrid to compete against, unless Osimhen is dead set on playing for Chelsea, then there's just no way that you pick us right now over those two teams. It just simply does not happen, guys. Dybala is class, but unfortunately it won't happen. No, it won't happen. Injury prone, agreed. It's a good stopgap signing. Yeah, but the problem is, though, Dybala wouldn't just come in as a 6-month signing. You have to sign him on at least a 2-year deal, maybe 3. So yeah, I don't see that. I just don't see that happening at all. Again, these swap deals in theory sound great, but there's a reason why you barely ever see them, because it's just so difficult to pull them off. Geordie, big up, brother. Poch wants physical. Yeah, doing okay, mate. Doing okay. Got your rivals tomorrow, not your main ones, but one of your rivals in Middlesbrough. Yeah, to be fair, I wouldn't rule it out, bro. I wouldn't rule it out, but that's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility for that to happen. Yes, Stuart, big up, my guy. Yeah, I think Dybala is too old, although they are prepared to spend on experienced players if the right deal's there to be done. I just don't know how much Dybala moves the needle for us, really. I like him as a player. I think he's a talented boy. I think he's a special footballer. But ultimately, when I'm looking at it, and I try and picture him in this Chelsea side, and I'm thinking, 1, where does he play? 2, do we really need him? And 3, does he have the attributes to adapt to the Premier League? I just don't think he does. I just don't think he does. How would we get into the team? No, well, he wouldn't, It'd be a rotation basis. And then, like, Dybala is not going to come from being a starter to then going to be a rotation player. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be nice. Maidstone in the next round. Maidstone away would be great, although I'm sure the capacity, the away end allocation would be fucking dreadful. It'd be impossible to get tickets, I would have thought, for that. But yeah, it would be nice to get that. Go all out and get Tony. Yeah, that's what I would personally do. But I think from his interviews today, the exclusive that he done on Sky Sports News, for me, I think he was pretty much ruling himself. He didn't say this, but from what he was saying, you could get the message that he was kind of ruling himself out of leaving in January. Of course, if a big money offer comes on the table, you know, it obviously provokes different thoughts and whatnot, and there's a decision to be made. But from what I could gather from that Tony interview, it didn't seem like he was going to be leaving this month. It's the smack of a Felix type deal. Obviously, it potentially wouldn't be a loan, but yeah, it does feel like that. Mate, because it's PSG doing PSG things, isn't it? Moani probably would play wide, and then Ramos and Osimhen would rotate. Look, the under 25 model, I think, is there for the bulk of the players, but I think now there's an openness and a willingness to change from that. There has to be. Who knows? No, you never know. You never know. Again, though, if we can get Kalou, Drogba, John Obi Mikel, if they can do that, then yeah, fantastic. Yes, big up my guy. Dybala will be the man when Chelsea say we'll get a player, means they will sign him. I mean, we're not going to sign Dybala, but yeah. I'll take him on a free. I disagree with you there, bro. But yeah, for me, this is not really exciting me. It's not really moving me in any way at all. So yeah. Well, he didn't exactly say we didn't need one. I'm going to get into those comments. He's basically said that, you know, there wasn't a desperation for one this month, which I can understand what he's meaning. I agree with you, God of Frogs, on that one. I do agree with you. Again, 36-year-old Benzema, who's been shite in Saudi for 6 months. Like, I'm just not. These things aren't really making sense, and let alone the wages that he'd be on and how much we'd have to cover, because there's no way that Al Ittihad would cover all his wages whilst on loan at Chelsea. I personally can't see it, guys. 20 likes away from 50. We're getting these likes up pretty quickly tonight, so keep smashing the like button, guys. It's free. It takes seconds, and it's the quickest and easiest way to help myself and the channel out. So please do subscribe, guys. Please do that. It's free. As I said, it takes seconds, and I would greatly appreciate it. So run them up, guys. We need 20 more likes. Let's get this done, people. Yes, Billy, evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, bro. Do you know what the mad thing is? I was saying this who was I having this conversation with the other day? It was either on here or it was with someone at a game. The mad thing is, Olivier Giroud still starts for us. It's not even a debate. Giroud still starts for us, and what we sold him a couple of years ago, and he would still be starting for us now. It's crazy. Giroud would 100% still be starting. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Olivier Giroud would still be starting. Yeah, bro, he's been piss poor in there. He's been poor. What about Ronaldo? Ronaldo's not going to come. No. Yeah, no, he has. Possibly. For me personally, I think that the only way we get Osimhen is we have to do a pre-agreement in January for the summer. If it goes to the summer and more clubs come involved, as I was mentioning before, then I just don't see us getting him. I just don't see how he would pick us over other clubs that would be involved. So yeah, for me, I'll be honest, I don't see that happening. That would be the only way to get it done. But right now, on January the 8th, there's no indications coming that, you know, we're gonna get that. No indications coming at all that we're gonna get that. You know, it's just I just can't see it. You know, as Ashraf says just in the chat now, you know, Osimhen's at AFCON as well. So unless he's gonna do all the medical stuff and all the deal signing and shit whilst he's out of the AFCON, then you just can't see it happening. Nigeria are expected to go pretty far into the tournament, you would imagine. Just all the feasibilities of this deal just don't look likely at all. And if it were to happen, then for me, we're looking at the last few days of the window, maybe even a deadline day job. This is not going to be something that's wrapped up sort of early on in the window. I just don't see it. Yes, big up, Mike. I hope you're doing well. Mount is that? I was yeah, Milan started. Oh, who knows? Utter nonsense. Discussed that yesterday. You know, it's a stupid link. It's literally come from nowhere. But yeah, you know, no chance of that happening. Have you heard about the plans to get a banner for Gallagher? They also want, yeah, Kante's going to have a permanent display in the shed, and I think Gallagher would have a display before one of the matches. Not a permanent display or anything like that. I don't see any issues with it at all. Lampard and Tuchel made sure they finished Giroud's Chelsea career. It was just bonkers. Yeah, bro, I don't understand why we got rid of him. It depends. It depends. Like, look, I think Osimhen would be happy to join Chelsea, but I also feel that if a Real Madrid or a PSG came in for him, that would be more appealing to him. But you know, if he's dead set on Chelsea and we pay the release clause, then that's what we need to do. Don't think we'll get a pre-agreement. I don't think so either. Do you think Chilwell will be in this? I would say Chilwell in this. I mean, I'd say more likely for the second leg, but never say never. We need someone clinical for 6 months and get Osimhen in the summer, but who? Yeah, look, I'll be brutally honest, guys. I can't see us finding a stopgap signing, someone on like a 6-month loan deal that's going to come in and make any sort of difference to this team straight away. I just don't think you're going to get it. You're just not going to get it. And, you know, that's what we're looking for. There's no point just bringing players in for the sake of it. If you can't get who you want, just stick with what you've got and then reassess in the summer. You know, I'm all for saying we need a striker because we do. But I'm not at the point where we're like, get a striker, even if it means signing someone you don't really want. Like, I'm not about that. No panic signings. Only signings that make sense that are going to make a difference. And that's what we have to do this window. And if that means we end up signing one player or two players, or we don't do anything, then that's that then. That is that. Yes, Wes, evening, hope you're doing well. All okay with me, brother. Would you say Osimhen is injury? I don't think he's injury prone. Yeah, he's picked up. He's had a few injuries during his time at Napoli, but I wouldn't have him down as a injury prone footballer. I think a lot of people would, but again, we're living in fantasy worlds, and we think that's going to happen. We played Parma once. Yeah, no, we did, and again, that could be an option. Yes, Brian, big up. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, he did. Steve Gibson, the chairman there, did stick the knife in us when we got sanctions. So it's always nice to go there and hopefully give them a seeing to. Who would you like to see if we were to get a left back this month? I don't know, to be honest, mate. I don't know. I don't know what left backs are really out on the market. You know, you'd be looking at a Malagusto type signing for the left back role. My knowledge of the left back market is not good enough to really give any names or any sort of suggestions that that could be realistic. So yeah, look, if a left back were to come this month, I've got no idea who it would be. We've not been linked to any names really. There's been no concrete links to be honest, there's been no concrete links really to any players this month for us. You know, there really hasn't. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I don't know. I really don't know. But I personally can't. I personally don't see it happening. Yet there's potentially that as well, which is an issue. You're kind of stuck in a catch-22 on that front. You really are. I hear what you're saying. I still think we can qualify for some form of Europe, you know, with the current squad. I'm not saying it would be Champions League, but certainly, you know, we can certainly reach Europa League with this squad. I've got no doubts about that in my mind. Evening, mate. Hope you're doing well. Anthony Robertson from Fulham. He looks a decent player. Again, wouldn't be a terrible option. I've got no idea who's coming left back. No idea. Teo Hernandez, ridiculous amount of money. You're not going to get him out of Milan in January. I don't think we need a left back this month, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yes, we've got, obviously, Malagusto's played there at times. Poch, whether we like it or not, has used Levi Colwell there. Ben Chilwell's coming back to fitness now. A left back in the summer, absolutely, but a left back in January is not a pressing issue at all. Guys, there's so much coming through in the chat. I'm not going to be able to get through all these things. If you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, you can use the super chat function. Any donations greatly appreciated. I'm going to have to scroll to the bottom here and just see what's coming in recently. Chilwell's back for now. Yeah, he's back in first team training. He won't be in the squad for tomorrow's game. I would have thought no chance of that one happening. But let's move away from this Dybala stuff, this kind of transfer stuff. And let's have a look at let's quickly discuss Pochettino's comments on the striker situation. Actually, let's discuss that. Are these the comments here? Is that the one? Yeah. Is asked, is there any great need for a striker? No, we are assessing the squad like always. We had a conversation with the owners and sporting directors today and yesterday. I'm so happy because we have Broja. We have different players that can play in the striker position, and we need our second line players to help the team score goals and win games. I'm very positive and happy with the squad. If something appears, we will announce. Now, is there a pressing need for a striker this month? Look, we all know we need one, but I wouldn't say we are desperate for one this month. Yes, if the deal's there to be done for an Osimhen or a Tony this month, then yes, of course we'll do it. But I think right now, with those two options looking very, very difficult to get a deal done for January, as I was saying before, I'd rather us sign no one. Part of me, given how many players we've signed this month, how many players we've signed over the last year or so, part of me almost feels I'd quite like us to sign no players this month. I just don't want more and more players coming into the football club. I know we obviously need a striker and whatnot, and we will sign more players, but I'm almost thinking, let's just have a bit of continuity of this squad until the summer and then add what we can then. January is a notoriously difficult window. Obviously he's going to, we don't know if he's not going to say, oh, I'm so unhappy because you've got Broja. He's obviously going to praise him and whatnot. Whether he actually thinks that privately is a totally different conversation. I mean, Jackson as well is going to be one of those. If Senegal go far, then he's going to miss a few games in February as well. So, this is a big opportunity for Broja. Nkunku can get himself fit. Palmer can play in the 9. We have got, there are options there. Again, he could be playing mind games. But I do tend to agree to an extent that this month, I don't think there's a great need for a striker. Yes, if we can get one, absolutely, let's do it. But I would say it's more of an absolute necessity for the summer. It has to be viewed as a necessity for the summer. January, I think if a deal can be done, then let's go and try and do it. But I just think the sort of players that we want and the quality that we need, the list of players is not very long. And there's also the situation where these deals are going to be very, very difficult to do. And yes, we always, negotiate hard, and more often than not, if we're going for a player and they want us, we get the deal done. But for me personally, I don't see it happening. I personally don't see it happening, but let's wait and see. One thing we have learned is that you can never say never with Chelsea Football Club and the transfer window. You can never say never. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. I don't know. Not too much more to add there, but I don't think these comments from Poch are outrageous at all. I agree with him to a degree on the fact that there's not a pressing need this month. But of course, if we can do it, then we should obviously look to do it. But let's move away from that and let's talk about obviously injuries. Christopher Nkunku. I mean, obviously, he was Poch adding on that same point. We have Broja, Palmer, so many players who can play in the striker position. I am very positive and happy with the squad. If something appears, we will announce. At the moment, we are assessing and working normally. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's just clear this Christopher Nkunku stuff up. We did the stream yesterday during the day because there had been a report from a UK-based journalist saying that Christopher Nkunku was set to spend up to 3 weeks out with a hip injury. We then had 2 reports from French journalists saying that he was left out of the Preston game as a precaution and he would very much be back in the squad for the next game. That's also proven to be incorrect. So Pochettino in the press conference today saying that Nkunku will miss the League Cup semi-final first leg of Middlesbrough. It is a small issue with his hip. It is not in his knee. He's not going to be involved tomorrow, and then we'll see for Saturday. But we are not sure. We'll be cautious. Hopefully he'll not be out for long, but he's not training at the moment. So that, for me, suggests that whilst it might not be out for up to 3 weeks, for me, that's suggesting that if they're going to be cautious with him, then he's not playing tomorrow. And I personally don't see how he plays on Saturday either. So whilst the 3 weeks might have been slightly, over the top and maybe for clicks, as it were, maybe it could end up being a week or like a couple of weeks. You just don't know. But obviously not playing tomorrow, and from the wording on that, we'll see for Saturday, we'll be cautious, kind of makes me think the guy's not going to play. I don't think the guy's going to play on Saturday either. So yeah, it is an interesting one. It is absolutely an interesting one. I don't really know what we can expect. But yeah, that kind of clears up the sort of the mystery, slightly gives us a slightly clearer picture surrounding Nkunku. Although we still don't really know when he's going to be back, but he's going to at least miss a couple of games. Look, I'm in 2 minds about Nkunku on this month. One, with the fixtures being favourable, it would have been great to get him up to speed and get him more match fitness. But on the other hand as well, if you're going to have him missing more games, the games up until the end of the month are favourable. Obviously, we don't know who we've got in the FA Cup 4th round yet, but, the games are going to be favourable this month. So if he's missing them, it's not a complete disaster. But at the same time, you'd rather he wasn't missing, basically. We just need someone who can put it in the back of the net. As old as Benzema, Lewandowski, etc., they're not missing. But the problem is, they haven't got the legs. So whilst they potentially wouldn't miss, would they even get in a position to take those chances in the first place? I don't think they would. Same for the Liverpool game. Yep, I agree. God, and we need those 3 points at Fulham. We absolutely do. Look, again, it's clearer than it was yesterday. It's still not fully clear, I agree, but it is absolutely clearer than it was yesterday. Next 2 league games are huge for our season. Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, Fulham's a massive game. And then obviously the one at Anfield is huge at the end of the month. Big up to the Dearish Devil coming through the donation. That's greatly appreciated, brother. Always so generous. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate your support. I would say Nkunku for the Liverpool game, agreed. We should shut him down. I don't think we should quite go that far, but we don't need to shut him down for the season. But certainly, I don't think we should be in a rush to get him back for any of the next few games coming up. But that is the latest on Christopher Nkunku. And that kind of brings us into this Middlesbrough game. I mean, what are we expecting tomorrow? It's a cup semi-final. It's a huge, huge game. Yes, it's away at lower level opposition. Yes, Middlesbrough are slightly better than Preston, but they're not that far above them in the championship table. Poch, in fairness to him, in the cups has always gone strong. I know we've not been able to make necessarily some changes that he perhaps would have liked to have made because of injuries, etc. But we're not playing for anything else this season other than the cups. There's no Europe, and we're not going to win the league. So, we should be going for it. And I think tomorrow, if we can get the fact that we've got the second leg at home, in a one-off game, if it was a one-off game, then yeah, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But the fact the first leg's away, we've got 2 games to put these guys to bed. Like I personally can't see an issue with this. I really can't see us coming unstuck over 2 legs. Even if we were to lose the first leg, I still don't see us, going out over 2 legs. I think one thing Middlesbrough will want to do, I'm not saying they'll go for it, but they'll want to sit in and make sure that they give themselves a sniff for the second leg. They still want to be in the tie in the second leg. It will be a strong side because we have to go strong. It's a semi-final, and because actually we don't really have the options to rotate. It's gonna be a tricky game. Away games are difficult. It's gonna be cold up there. Atmosphere is going to be rocking. Middlesbrough, not many big teams are going to Middlesbrough at the moment. I know they got knocked out of the FA Cup at the weekend by Aston Villa, but this is a massive game for them. Probably the biggest game of their season so far. So yeah, it's looking like this. I'm not saying it's going to be straightforward and we're going to stroll it or anything. Like it will be a difficult game for sure. But like me personally, this game will be tougher than the second leg for sure. But I just don't see how we encounter too many issues here. And now I could be being naive and stupid or whatever, but I just don't see how we encounter that many issues here. It will be a tough game. No two ways about it. It will be a difficult game. I mean, guys, what are you thinking in the chat? Middlesbrough are rushing players back and some are not fit enough to play according to sort. Fair. I see a 2-0 win. It won't be easy, but we'll have enough quality to win. Yeah, the difference in quality is vast. There's no denying that. I think the only thing that's going to stop us from doing well is us not turning up on the night. We absolutely can't afford to have a first half similar to what we had against Preston. We can't afford to play that badly again in the first half. But I think, if we just play half as well as we did in the second half against Preston for the game against Middlesbrough, then I think we should absolutely be able to pick a positive result up. And I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be able to score a couple of goals. For all the criticisms of Chelsea this season as well, by the way, guys, and I think someone mentioned it in the chat earlier, the attack has actually been pretty good and is actually scoring regular goals. For the first time in a while, I'm not actually worried about Chelsea scoring goals because we do seem to be scoring. Drop Sterling, I'd agree on that. I want to see Noni. Or I wouldn't go same starting 11, no. We got to get the job done in the first leg. Look, if we can get the job done in the first leg, that's going to be a massive plus. I mean, for me to consider it being job done after the first leg, I think we need to be looking at we've got to be looking at a win by 3 goals. If there's a 3-goal margin after the first leg, then for me it's done. If there's not, then it's going to be a bit like it won't be game done. That for me is the reality of the situation. Only ourselves and lose this game will be about. But yeah, exactly. It's about attitude and application. Just want to scrape it up in the first leg so we can. Yeah. Last season we scored 38 league goals. We're on 34 already. Yeah. No, this is the thing. Like when people say that Chelsea haven't improved as a team, we have improved as a team. We're scoring a lot more goals. We're creating a lot more chances. The only issue is that for some reason, defensively, we seem worse than we were last season in terms of the amount of goals we're letting in. But we obviously are scoring a lot more goals as well. So yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. It really is. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know what's going on defensively because we just seem to. It's really important to keep a clean sheet at the weekend. I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting a clean sheet against Preston. As crazy as that sounds, that's a big boost for us. I don't know what it is about just goals we're letting in. Goals we're letting in at the moment. I mean, look, it's easy to say that, but we can't have 11. We can't have the same 11 from one week to the other because of how many injuries we're picking up and stuff. So as nice as that would be to be able to do, it's not going to happen because we constantly have injuries. So that's the reason as to why we can't do it. Broja needs to do better. Yeah, he absolutely does. And look, he got a goal. He got a goal at the weekend. So that'll be good for his confidence. But yeah, his overall game has absolutely got to improve. Guys, what also needs to improve is the amount of likes. We're on 39 likes. We need 50 minimum. Come on, people. Keep smashing the like button. It's 10 likes. It's not many. There's definitely 10 of you in here that haven't smashed the like button. So what are you lot playing at? It's free. It takes seconds. It massively helps me out. I'm not asking for any money. I'm just asking for you to take a couple of a second to press the thumbs up button. Come on, guys. Get me to 50 likes ASAP. You know, there's people in here that are lurking, putting messages in the chat, but haven't smashed the like. Come on, guys. Let's do it. If we don't hit these likes, then we're not going to win tomorrow. And no one wants that. Yes, what's up, brother? Not much about Dybala, just the links seem to have resurfaced again, and just like how I just can't see it happening. It doesn't make sense, doesn't fit the model. High wages, injury-prone player would be the least Chelsea thing imaginable under this model, but you just never know what to expect these days. Want to see some more shooting from outside the box, not walking it in. Yeah, I think this is a thing as well. Just shoot on sight more. I'm not saying shoot every time you get the ball, but have more shots. You know, try and do more stuff. Because you know, the more you shoot, the more you're going to score. That's just basic maths. Basically, the more you shoot, the more you're going to score. Yes, the more you're going to miss as well, but that's not really the point. I can't see it happening. I personally can't see it happening. I think we've been linked with Barella before, but yeah, it's one of those that I personally do not see happening. If anyone needs to improve, it's Enzo. He's had very regular game time and needs to hit some sort of consistency. I agree on that. And actually, on Enzo, let's just quickly bring up something, because remember we had a report a while back from someone like from an Argentinian source saying that Enzo had some sort of chronic injury issue. But again, this same source now, a close source to Enzo Fernandez, talking about his injury. Enzo is doing well, improving with much less pain than before, fortunately. So he's recovering to be at 100%. The other day he played for 90 minutes and was fine. So thankfully, everything is going well. And just on Enzo and, you know, his performances and the balance of the team and all that sort of thing, should Enzo Fernandez be playing? Do we need more from him? Yes, we do need more from him. He's added a few goals this season. I think one of the big issues for me with Enzo is that we know that he picks the ball up deep and his range of passing from deep and his playmaking from deep is exceptional. But when there's only so much you can do when you pick the ball up in a deep position and the wingers aren't making runs and the fullbacks aren't making runs and the striker's not dropping deep between the lines to try and pick the ball up. There's very little as a midfield player that you can actually do in that situation. Like, what are you going to do in that situation? When all you can do is pass it sideways or backwards, or do a bit of a hit and hope over the top, like we saw a few times against Preston, and see if anything comes from it. You know, I think that's one of the big problems as to why Enzo's struggling, is because of his teammates giving him a lack of options. But of course, I'm not sure the balance of the midfield's quite right either. I think Enzo looks much better when Conor Gallagher's in the team, which sounds strange, but I think he does. I also think part of me, this is not a slight on Gallagher, this is just something I'd like to see. Part of me would just love to see how a Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo midfield would actually work. I think having more of an out-and-out six in Romeo Lavia behind Enzo and Caicedo would unlock them a bit more, would allow them to play their game more naturally. And I think it would be a lot better. I think it would be better. But yeah, look, in terms of Enzo, I'm not disappointed in him. I'm not. Do I think he could do more? Yes, but I'm absolutely not disappointed in him. You know, I think he's doing as well as he can. Yes, we all want more. Yes, there's going to be an expectation for more because of the money he cost, but I don't think he's done that badly this season. But I agree. He has to be deep lying. Simple as that. When he's played more advanced in that 10 role, he's looked horrendous. It doesn't work with him. It doesn't suit him at all. So yeah, that's kind of that's where I'm at with Enzo Fernandez. But it's good news that injury seems to be clearing up. You know, he's having much less pain than before. He came through 90 minutes and he was fine. So yeah, it looks like things are heading in the right direction with Enzo. You'd have to play him on the right-hand side. I mean, look, playing that three-man midfield gives you maybe issues in attack as well, but you could play Cole Palmer on the right. So, yeah, do you know Poch has more points than Potter with same games played last season? Yeah. No, we look, I know last season was a low mark, but, you know, in all aspects, we are improving. Maybe defensively, we've maybe regressed, but in all other aspects of the team, we are improving. Yep, potentially you could go for that. You could potentially go for that. Guys, we have indeed we haven't quite hit 50. We're still on 49. Guys, one more like to the 50 mark. Keep smashing those likes. The FA Cup draws beginning in around sort of 7 minutes time. So yeah, keep smashing the like button, guys. Keep smashing that like button. But whilst we are waiting for the FA Cup draw, I'm going to go through. Yes, big up my guy. Enzo as a 10 doesn't work for you. To be a number 10, you need to have good. Yeah, I agree. He's not a number 10. Who do I think will sign this window? I've got no idea, mate. I mean, I'm sure we'll sign a few kids from Brazil or something, but in terms of actual players for the first team, I really don't know. And if we do sign anyone, for me, it's going to be 1, maybe 2 maximum. I honestly don't see an awful lot of business taking place this month. I really don't. I really don't see it happening. Look at the defenders we lost, though. Yeah, I agree on that front. But yeah, before for the first team, we need a left back. I don't think in the summer I would agree, but I actually don't think we do. It's not a pressing issue for right now, in my opinion. You've got Gusto that can play on the left. You've got Ben Chilwell coming back. Whether we like it or not, which a lot of us don't, Levi Colwill is serviceable there. So I think we're well covered. Yeah, guys, come on. Do what he's saying, people. Do what he's saying. Run the likes up. Otherwise, we're going to get Liverpool in the next round of the Cup. And no one wants that. So keep smashing the like button, people. Keep smashing that like button. What else is going on? Yeah, let's have a look. What I'm going to do is, guys, whilst we're waiting for the FA Cup draw to come, I'm going to go through the team that I would like to see for tomorrow's game. Obviously, 4-2-3-1 standard formation. Petrovic will continue in goal. That's not a difficult decision. And, as well as Alfie Gilchrist did, I'd be shocked if he started tomorrow. I think for me, the back four picks itself with Gusto at right back. He's been in superb form the last few weeks and he's had a great season so far. Thiago Silva will come back into the team. He was on the bench at the weekend. He came on and he scored. He will go back into the starting lineup. And with Badiashile injured, it will be Disasi at the other centre-back. And then for me, Levi Colwill at left-back. Look, I could say it should be Ian Martin or Gilchrist should play right-back and Gusto should play on the left. That's not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen, so there's no point me just putting that on there for the sake of it because it's not going to happen. But that Badiashile's, he's back in training for a reconditioning phase, but he won't be in the team tomorrow. We need an actual fullback, not a centre back at left back. Maybe a taller left back, maybe. No, he was, but not like he was in what they define as the reconditioning phase. So I don't really know what that means. But anyone that was listed on the list of injured players for this game tomorrow is not going to feature. So despite Chilwell, Chukwuemeka, and Badiashile being in full team training for the reconditioning phase, they are not going to be available in the squad tomorrow. Do you know what? For me, right, I wouldn't be surprised if one of Enzo or Caicedo are rested. I think Enzo played a full game, played a full 90. Caicedo's played quite a lot recently. So do you know what? For me, this is what I would do. I think one of them's going to be rested. And I think it could well be Enzo Fernandez. So I'm going to go Caicedo and Conor Gallagher in the pivot, only because it then allows for us to get more attacking players on the pitch. That's the big thing for me. It will allow for more attacking players on the pitch, and that's what I want to do. That is what I want. Because I would go like this, and by dropping one of the midfield players, resting, rotating, whatever you want to call it, it enables us to get these other players on the pitch. And this is what I would personally go with. Madueke on the right. I know Sterling started in the cup and scored a great free kick, but I didn't think he was that good, really. And Madueke has been playing really well recently and deserves to go back into the team. Cole Palmer can continue in that number 10 role. And then obviously Mudryk can continue on the left-hand side. But what I would expect to potentially happen with Pochettino is that he will probably play all three of those guys in midfield, Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo. Palmer will play on the right. And for reasons unbeknownst to myself and many of the fan base, I can almost guarantee that Raheem Sterling will play, even though he shouldn't be playing. And then obviously we'll then have Amanda Broja up front, which is not ideal. But again, it's another opportunity for him to impress against lower level opposition, a chance for him to bet himself in. That is the team I would pick tomorrow. But I've got a feeling that, you know, Pochettino probably isn't going to pick that team. I think it'll be Mudryk dropped and Madueke dropped. That is my opinion. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front, guys. But that is the team I would like to see play tomorrow. I think it's important that we rest one of those two in midfield. Gallagher didn't start, so he will obviously absolutely come back into the team. So yeah, that's what I would do with. I do agree with this comment as well. Seeing as we're away from home in the first leg, maybe we'll be slightly more cautious. Not that we need to be, but he won't want to be conceding too many goals. Sterling, Palmer, Madueke, Broja. Sterling for me just shouldn't be in the team. And like people think I've got an agenda on Sterling, I don't. But he's not been good enough or consistent enough. FA Cup draw coming up soon. Yep, it is. Sterling will play because his high wages he gets. Yep, potentially he will. He'll play Enzo. I suspect all three probably will play. But yeah, let's wait and see, guys. I think we should also consider Jurassi's release clause. He's 27, but we need a striker that's a bit more experienced. Look, I get it that Serhou Guirassy has scored a lot of goals in the Bundesliga this season. This is very much an anomaly season for him in terms of he's never done anything like this before. He's got a low release clause. You know, this is going to be the most interest that Guirassy will probably have in him. So, you know, this move will need to be right for him. I just don't look at it and think that he'd come to the Premier League and make an instant impact like we need him to do. And I don't think he really moves the needle. It's just another option at the top end of the pitch that come the summer when we sign someone elite, we're going to be stuck with Guirassy when we don't need him. So yeah, that is the reality of this situation. Madueke, Palmer, Sterling, front three. For me, look, maybe that could be the case. I just think Mudryk and Madueke both deserve to start and both deserve to be playing. I think that much is clear and obvious. But guys, we are now approaching the FA Cup draw. The balls aren't out the bag or anything like that yet, but you know the coverage has started, and the FA Cup fourth round draw is going to get underway very imminently. Guys, get your predictions in the chat, by the way, for who we think we're going to get. FA Cup draw on now. Yep. Please give me Maidstone United at home. Yeah, that would be great. Here we go. The draw is beginning. That is the team that I would go with, people. But yeah, the draw is about to begin. Let me know in the chat who you want, and let me know in the chat, like, who do you think we're going to get, guys? What would your prediction be? My prediction personally would be that we are going to get an away tie. We've been at home in every round of the Carabao Cup so far. We had a home tie in the last round of the FA Cup. Surely, like, at some point, you know, we are going to stop getting home draws in this competition. So, or in the cup competitions, you'd expect us to be given an away draw. That would be my view on it. I think Chelsea for this draw are ball number 25. So Chelsea will be ball 25 for the FA Cup draw, I'm pretty certain. And the ties will be played on the weekend of the 27th. So the the weekend before we play Liverpool in the midweek, guys. So there will be a free weekend after the Fulham game. There'll be a free weekend, which is a good thing. So yeah, just waiting for it to come now. Obviously, these draws are so long as well. Like, they have all this boring chat beforehand, which no one really cares about. Yep, a great easy draw away. Wigan after they beat United. I mean, who knows? I just don't want. I mean, I know it's a bit selfish, really. I'd quite like a home draw or an away day that we've not done before, or one that's reasonably close. Would be nice. So let's wait and see on that one. But I think Chelsea will be ball 25. Let's just get on with this. I mean, Jesus Christ, come on. Right, the balls are now being emptied into the mix. Right, yep, empty them in. This old geezer is emptying them in. And Chelsea ball 25. Come on, people. Let's hope that Chelsea are going to be a decent one. We've got to beat whoever to get to the final and win. Yes, we do, but you'd like to get as far as you can before facing anyone decent, really. The further we get, the better. Right, here we go. So Chelsea are ball 25, and out the hat first is ball number 14. That is Watford. So Watford at home to number 10. Watford versus Southampton. So an all-championship fourth round there. The next one, number 22. Is Blackburn Rovers at home. And they will face number 2, which is Wrexham. So Blackburn versus Wrexham. So Chelsea haven't come out in the first 2 ties yet. Ball number 26, sorry, Bournemouth. Bournemouth will be at home to number 24, which is Swansea City. So it'll be Bournemouth versus Swansea City. So Chelsea still haven't been drawn yet, guys, out the cup, but not really any big teams fallen by the wayside yet. Ball number 9. West Bromwich Albion will play. They'll be at home to number 28, Brentford or Wolves. So West Brom will host Brentford or Wolves once they've had that replay. What else are we looking at here? Number 6 has come out. That is West Ham United or Bristol City. They've got a replay to do against number 19. West Ham or Bristol City will host Nottingham Forest or Blackpool. So Chelsea are still in. Ball number 13. That is Leicester City. So Championship high flyers Leicester City will be at home to ball number 32. That is Leicester will face Hull City or Birmingham City in an all-championship clash. Next up, number 16. That is Sheffield Wednesday, and they will be at home to number 27, which is Coventry. So another all-championship game. Sheffield Wednesday versus Coventry City. Number 25. Can you believe it? Chelsea with another home tie. Chelsea will be at home in the 4th round of the FA Cup. And at home, Chelsea will face number 18, Aston Villa. Oh, that's not great. Chelsea versus Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat. How are we feeling? Chelsea versus Aston Villa. The next one, Ipswich Town will be at home and they will play number 30, Ipswich Town versus Maidstone United. So non-National League Southside Maidstone are going to take a trip to Championship high flyers Ipswich. But yeah, guys, at home to Aston Villa is going to be a tough one. It depends how many rotations the teams make and whatnot. But with this game being 3 days before we go and play Liverpool away, that's a tough tie. A tough tie. Yes, it's at home, but it's a tough one. Liverpool will be at Anfield and they'll face Norwich City or Bristol Rovers. Standard. The Manchester derby, by the way, is still got potential to take place. in this fourth round of the Cup. But Liverpool versus Norwich or Bristol. Number 7, Spurs will also be at home. And Spurs will be facing... Who will Spurs be facing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? They'll be taking on number 21, Manchester City. That's a big one. Spurs versus Man City in the fourth round of the FA Cup. So, again, another big team will fall by the wayside there. Spurs versus Man City. They've got a few more left to draw. Next out the hat, number 12 is Leeds United. So, again, Championship high flyers Leeds will be taking on... Who are they going to be taking on? Number 29. Leeds will be facing Plymouth Argyle, another all-championship tie. So yeah, we got what? We got a few more to go. Number 17, that is Crystal Palace or Everton, who will be at home to number 1. Luton or Bolton. So it's going to be Palace or Everton versus Luton Town or Bolton Wanderers. Number 31, which is Newport or Eastleigh. And that's going to be a tough tie. It's basically going to be they're going to be facing a Premier League side. So Newport or Eastleigh will be hosting number 20, which is going to be Man United or Wigan. So Newport County or Eastleigh versus Man United or Wigan Athletic. And then we've got 2 games left, which are going to be all Premier League ties. So it is going to be number 23. Sheffield United will be at home. Sheffield United at home to number 4, which is Brighton. And then it'll be Fulham versus Newcastle for the final tie. So some interesting fourth round ties, for sure. Chelsea at home to Aston Villa. That's a tough one. Man City heading to Spurs. You know, there's quite a few all Premier League ties as well. FA Cup is a different kettle of fish. Hard game, but I'm confident for us. Yeah, let's hope so. Hopefully we can get more injured players back for the FA Cup game. Agreed. Villa is tough. I mean, look, Emery could absolutely, because they've already beaten us there in the league towards the start of the season, so that's not ideal. But we can absolutely beat Villa. Villa, similar to Newcastle, very good at home. Obviously, they're not as bad as Newcastle are on the road, but they're absolutely not amazing either. So it's very much doable. It is very much doable. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Shame we have Villa, an early exit for us. No, I don't agree it's an early exit. Yeah, it's going to be a tricky game for us. Let's not beat around the bush. This will be a hard game, but considering everything we could have got, it's not a complete disaster. You know, and it's another home tie, which is good. One thing that is good is that one of City or Spurs are going out and Arsenal are gone as well. Yep, true. So one of City or Spurs are going. So obviously we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but some of the bigger sides will be dropping out in the fourth round. So that is a good thing. That is a good thing, you know. And look, you know, Chelsea Villa, it's tough. It's not impossible to win at all. And do you know what? I think we can absolutely do that. I think we can do that. It's a favourite. It's not an awful game. Show me if Aston Villa have done that. Do you think we'll rotate or go strong? It depends. I think, look, if we make the Carabao Cup final, obviously, you know, look, I think we'll go strong. I think we have to, but obviously there'll be an eye on the Liverpool game as well. No doubts about it. So let's wait and see what we do. Guys, 5 more likes to hit 60. Come on, people. I know the numbers have dropped a little bit now. 5 more likes until we hit 60. So please do smash the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. 5 more likes to hit 60 would be greatly appreciated. Yes, big up, Brian. Thank you for the donation, mate. Greatly appreciated. Let's go for the W tomorrow. Yeah, agreed. Come on, people, have some confidence. Support the Blues. Yeah. Look, I'm confident. Look, I'm not saying I'm like saying we're absolutely going to win, but this is not as doom and gloom as some people are kind of making it out to be. You know, it's a winnable game for sure. But yeah, let's get there first. We've got a home tie. Let's just get ourselves to that situation first. Come on, people, have some confidence. Yeah, exactly. Just have the confidence. But yeah, I don't think that's not an awful result. It's not an awful result at all. But the FA Cup is kind of opening up a little bit. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, because obviously, Arsenal are gone. One of City or Spurs are going, and then obviously one of Chelsea and Villa are going as well. So quite a few big teams are going to drop out at this next stage of the cup. But let's not get carried away of ourselves here. Villa away from home, yeah, they're not as good, but they did beat us at the Bridge earlier. I would start Nkunku an FA Cup game against. Yeah, let's hope so. Broja scores, maybe. Can beat Villa. They'll be more nervous. Nah, Villa's at home. I don't know what FA Cup draw you've been watching, but we're not away. We're definitely at home. Yeah, I don't know, Nino. I don't know if you got a little bit confused. I don't know if you think that the ones that come out first are away, but we're definitely at home. So that does make it slightly better. Away, I think we could almost forget it, but at home, you never know. You never know at home. Definitely gives us a better chance. No doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. HH, I hope so. What else is going on at the moment, guys? 3 more likes to 60. Come on, people. 3 more likes to 60. It's not much to ask. It's not much to ask. Yeah, agreed. A replay would be a disaster, and you can still get 3rd and 4th round. They still have replays. We don't want a replay. A replay would be a dreadful thing. I don't want to say I'd rather be out, because I think that's stupid, but you don't want a replay, and particularly having to head up to Villa Park, another fixture into a congested fixture list. We don't want that. So yeah, look, we need to get a result one way or another at Stamford Bridge. No, it's all good. We all get things wrong. We all get things wrong now and then. But yeah, no, we're at home, so that's a good thing. Wrexham have got a decent tie away at Blackburn. Yeah, to be fair, could be a US thing, because the sides that are playing away are named first, aren't they? I don't know. I've got no idea. But yeah, it's definitely at home. It is definitely a home tie. So let's not worry about that. Guys, 1 more like to 60. Come on, let's run it up. What else have we got? Yeah, so maybe you've got a little... Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's confusing. I don't know why that happens, but yeah. There's not really too much more to go through at the moment, people. What else have we got? Obviously, Man City Spurs is the big one. So we've now got an updated January fixtures. So there's just 1 extra game chucked in now to January, which is that 4th round one. And got Middlesbrough away tomorrow, Fulham on the Saturday. Then we've got a weekend off after Fulham. And then we've got Middlesbrough at home in the second leg. And then that weekend before the Liverpool game, so the weekend of the 27th, will be the FA Cup 4th round. And then obviously then we've got Liverpool away to end the month. So 1 extra game thrown into the month. Yeah, there's quite a few replays in this 3rd round as well. Yeah, I know we did, but maybe things can be different. Maybe things can be different this time round. Prediction for tomorrow. I think we'll win 2-0. That is my prediction, a 2-0 Chelsea win. I know it's quite bold, thinking we're going to get 2 clean sheets on the spin. But yeah, I mean, that is my prediction, 2-0. Obviously not. Obviously I wouldn't be doing that. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that. Guys, get your score predictions in the chat, by the way. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going for a 2-0 win. Maybe it's a bit optimistic. I don't really know. But guys, get your score predictions in the chat. I'll be interested to hear what you are, what your thoughts are on the task at hand, on the game at hand, what you think we're going to do. So please do let me know. Please do let me know. Please do let me know. So yeah, so we got 3-1. We got 3-1 Chelsea, 2-1 or 3-1 clean sheet in the bin. Fair. 3-0. I mean, look, a 1-1 is a poor result in terms of like, in isolation, but over the grand scheme of things, 1-1, you'd fancy us to beat them at the Bridge. 2-1 Chelsea, 5-0. Mate, if we won 5-0, I would be absolutely delighted with that if we could get a 5-0. I don't see it happening. It's poor, but I mean, the tie's still very much open, and it's certainly not done and dusted or anything like that. So ultimately, we absolutely have to win this. We should be winning this game, but as long as that sounds ridiculous, but as long as we're still in the tie, then that's the most important thing. We just got to make sure we don't get hammered, and I personally don't see that happening. Yeah, Carabao Cup absolutely has to be a priority to win this season. No two ways about it. No two ways about it at all. Glad the second leg is at home. Yep, me too, mate. Me too. Glad the second leg's at home. So yeah, that makes things better. It makes things a bit easier. So yeah, let's wait and see, guys. But I don't think there is really too much more to go through at this point in time. Not much transfer news going on at the moment. Discuss the game. We're playing Villa at home in the 4th round of the Cup. And hope we can get revenge for what happened in September. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Nah, nothing much else has happened. But let's hope we can do that. I mean, the last time we played Aston Villa, obviously we lost 1-0, and this is what happened. We somehow managed to not score this. I'm not sure if you lot remember this. Raheem Sterling again. Could just pass it to Jackson for a tap-in. And it didn't happen. I'd kind of forgotten that had happened against Villa. So as long as we don't have a repeat of that, how on earth did we not score that? I'd forgotten about that. It just makes you feel ill when you see that again. How are we not scoring from that? It's an utter disgrace. And we saw it against Wolves as well. So yeah, look, that's poor, and that absolutely cannot be happening again. It must not happen again, and it cannot happen again. Simple as that, people. We need revenge, and we need to make sure we don't do stupid shit like that again, because that is ridiculous. Yeah, I think they potentially. Well, I think other teams do still take us seriously, but obviously, if we were to knock Villa out and stuff, then it would be it would be a good scalp, and I think certainly other teams would start to take us a bit more seriously. Sterling is an expert at not passing. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. But yeah, guys, 6 more likes to 70. Let's see if we can get those likes on the way out. Keep smashing that like button. I am going to round this one out here. There's not been an awful lot of news to go through today. The window's pretty quiet at the moment. Obviously, we looked ahead to the game and that we've covered the 4th round draw. Big up to everyone that's locked in and tuned in tonight. I greatly appreciate all the support. As always, means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. I won't be at the game tomorrow, so I will, in all likelihood, do a watch along. So I'll see you there for that one tomorrow. But until then, guys, smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Love for the support as always, and I'm out.